Hello there, welcome to today's edition of Constituency in Focus with me, Samuel Nyimabo. Today is the 3rd of December 2024. We have exactly 4 days to the December polls. Just this weekend, all Ghanaians will be going to the polls to vote for both the presidential candidate that they prefer and the parliamentary candidate in their respective constituencies. And as part of our Constituency in Focus, we would be bringing you the analysis, what you need to know of all the constituencies in the 16 regions of the country. And today we are here back with you to take you to another 2 very interesting constituencies ahead of the December polls. Today we are going back to the northern part of the country. We are going to the Savannah region, to be precise, where the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, originates from. Now we are going to John Mahama's region to look at 2 key constituencies that are heating up very well ahead of the December polls. Will the NDC have the majority seat that they've been having in this region, the Savannah region, or the NPP will take some seat away from the National Democratic Congress? These are the questions we will try and answer here on Constituency in Focus, and we'll be right back after this break to give you those analyses. So do stay with us.
On December 7th, all eyes will be on the nation, and ABC News Ghana Television will be your trusted election guide. Welcome to the Poll Center, where we bring you the most comprehensive 2024 general elections coverage.
At ABC News Ghana, we will deliver up-to-the-minute updates from across the 40,647 polling stations, ensuring that you stay informed every step of the way.
We'll bring you real-time updates from constituencies with the highest stakes and insight into the key battlegrounds.
Our team of political watchdogs, pollsters, and political scientists will break down the nuances in the swing regions, helping you understand the dynamics of these critical areas.
With correspondents and district reporters spread across the country, we rest assured all the timely reports of turn-up events as they unfold.
On the Poll Center, we'll bring you an excellent television experience with advanced graphic presentation that will give you a clear visual of the vote tallies, trends, and key turning points as they unfold live on screen.
ABC News Ghana will provide you with in-depth analysis of voter pattern shift, regional shift, and what the early results could mean for the final outcome of the elections.
From voting challenges to disputes over election results, ensuring our viewers understand the legal landscape.
On social media, we'll bring you live updates and key highlights from the polling stations, keeping you engaged and informed with the latest developments online.
From the streets to the polling centers, we will capture the voices of everyday Ghanaians, hear their thoughts and concerns as they cast their ballots.
ABC News is committed to unbiased, accurate, and in-depth coverage. Join us on the Poll Center for the most reliable 2024 election coverage.
Stay tuned, stay informed, stay with the Poll Center right here on ABC News Ghana.
Hello, yeah, welcome back to the show with me, Samuel Nyimabo. Like I mentioned, today our focus is on the Savannah region. We'll be going to the Savannah region to understand how the various constituencies are shaping up in the region. Now, Savannah has 7 constituencies, and as it stands now, the NDC has 4 of them, whilst the NPP has 3 constituencies. And we'll be going to look at 2 constituencies that the NPP are currently holding, and whether the party will be able to maintain those 2 seats or the NDC will take it away from them. I'm talking about the Damango constituency, the regional capital of the Savannah region, and the Daboya Mankurugu constituency as well, where the NPP has the sitting NP for the area. These two constituencies, per our checks, are shaping up to look for a very tough contest in the December 7th polls, just 4 days away from the elections. What we are picking on ground shows that in these two constituencies will be keenly contested, and want to turn our focus onto those key constituencies. So today let's go straight to the Damongo constituency. Like I mentioned, Damongo is the capital of the Savannah region and the West Gonja municipality. It is a historic town officially, and it was officially declared the capital of the Savannah region in 2019. Now, the town plays a significant role in the political, cultural, and the economic landscape of the country. If you look at Damongo, that is where the Mole Park, the Mole Park is around, the Mole National Park is around the Damongo Township, and it is one of the tourist sites that people like to visit a lot. So if you are in and around the northern part of the country and you want to pass by, you can go to Damongo and you visit the Mole National Park. Now, the history is Damongo's history is deeply rooted in its migration of the Songhai to Ghana in the 1540s, led by the As Muhammad. Now, it is also the seat of the Gonja Kingdom within the paramount, with the paramount chief, the Yagbonwura, residing there. That is where the Gonja Kingdom, it is the seat where the Gonja Kingdom is, where the paramount chief of the Gonja land, I'm talking about the Yagbonwura, is residing there. Now, the town became the kingdom's capital in and around the 1942 under the Yagbonwura Awisi Ewutuma Bunyanso. Now, this town has a lot of things, like I mentioned. The first thing is the tourist activity in the Damongo communities. The Mole National Park is located there. It is also a farming community with a lot of agricultural activities in the community. So they farm crops such as the corn, millet, yam, okra, and granite. Shea nut is also very much cultivated within the Damongo township, and even the Savannah region. If you want shea nut, it's one of the areas that you will get. The Savannah and the Northeast regions are known for their growing of shea nuts. Now, Damongo is also the educational hub of the Savannah region because it has the Damongo Senior High School, the Ndewura Jakpa Secondary Technical School, the St. Annie's Girls Senior High School, the Damongo College of Agric, that is the Damongo Agriculture College, the Damongo Health Assistance School. So you see that the town is well developed in terms of education, and as such, it was proclaimed the capital of the Savannah region in 2019, following the division of the northern region into 5 regions. Originally, we had northern region into three regions. Originally, we had northern region, and it was splitted into northeast, the northern region itself, and then the Savannah region in 2019, following that referendum that was held in those regions. So today, our focus keenly would be on the Damongo constituency. It has produced significant figures. Ghana's political landscape. You look at the former president, John Dramani Mahama, is coming from this area. Is from the Savannah region. Is from the Savannah region. He is from the Bambo constituency in the Savannah region. Look at the Speaker of Parliament. Also, he originates from the Savannah region. I'm talking about Alban Sumana Kingsford Barbin. He is also from that region. Benjamin Kumbo, who is the former Minister of Defense, also originates from that region. Abu Sakara, now the former CPP presidential candidate, and now formed alliance with the Alliance Movement for Change, is also from the Savannah region. So this region has a rich political landscape in terms of its contribution to Ghana. They have produced a president in the country. It has produced a Speaker of Parliament, who is currently the Speaker. Now, even the Lands Minister, the current Lands and Natural Resources Minister, as you can see on your screens there, Samuel Ebujinapo, is from this region. Specifically, he is the topic for today. We are looking at his chances of winning in the Damango constituency, because he's on the ticket for the New Patriotic Party for the second time in the constituency. He did a good job in 2020 and sitting the NP for the area, Mutawakilu, in that 2020 election. That was fairly contested, as you can see on your screens there. That is Mutawakilu. And these two are back again with a fierce contest on their hands. We'll see how it pans out on December 7th. But before we get to understand what really happening in Damango and the chances of these two, let us do the analysis of the constituency way back from 1996, as we have done with other constituencies on Constituency in Focus. We try to give you the historic analysis to help you understand what you can expect in the 2024 elections, because the history always the future. So on ABC Constituency in Focus, that's what we try to do. So let's quickly give you the trend. Let's quickly give you the trend in the constituency, in the elections in the constituency. Let's quickly give you that trend. If you come to my in studio where I am stationed, you will see that the trend has been, in terms of the presidential result, has been favoring the NDC. They have won in all times in this constituency. All the years that this constituency has voted, in 1996, in 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 16, and in 2020, the NDC, I'm talking about the National Democratic Congress, has won all through in this 7 times in the constituency. And even in 1992, they won again in the Damango constituency. So you look at the 1996 result, NDC won by 48.50% of the vote, as against the NPP, 44.30%. That was a bit of a close contest there. Same repeated itself in 2000, a very close contest as well, where the NDC won in the presidential result, in the presidential ballot, by some 46% of the vote, when the NPP had 42.40%. However, in 2004, the party NDC increased their vote margin very hugely to 70.40% of the vote. That was a huge increase for the National Democratic Congress in that 2004 election. The NPP, on the other hand, saw a dip in their result, where they had only 22.30% of the vote. Then you had the same NDC winning in 2008, in 2012, and in 2016. The party had 61, I'm talking about the National Democratic Congress, had 61.50%, as against the NPP, 37.60%. And then in 2020, we saw the NPP increase their vote in the constituency. That is the highest number of votes the party has gotten in the constituency since 1996. They had 43.79% of the presidential vote in that 2020 elections. That goes to tell you the effect of Samuel Abu Jinapo in the constituency, where he is fiercely contesting and garnering vote for the New Patriotic Party. As a result, he was rewarded with the minister, being Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. He was deputy, then promoted to the substantive minister. So you would see that he brought in a lot of change in terms of the numbers for the NPP in that 2020 elections, winning by even though they lost, he still garnered 43.79%, the highest percentage that they've gotten since 1996. Then the NPP won in that 2020 elections with 55.58% in the vote. Now, this has been the trend. It has been an easy trend for the NDC in the constituency, and it is not surprising, because the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, who has been the flag bearer of the party since 2012, is from this region, so he gets to win the region very easily. Now, let's look at the parliamentary results, where our key focus is how has both parties been performing. We will get to understand that in the parliamentary result, the NPP over the period has also managed to win some seats, unlike the presidential where they haven't won any in the Damango constituency. In the parliamentary result, the New Patriotic Party has won in some of the years. Now, they lost in 1996, as you see there. Then in that 2000 elections, the New Patriotic Party came to win in the Damango constituency, garnering 48.40% of the vote, as against the NDC 43.90%. Then in 2004, again, the NPP retained the seat. This was a formidable time for the NPP. This was a good time for the NPP in the constituency, and it shows that the candidate then was a formidable force. He won in the 2004 elections as well for the New Patriotic Party. However, the party lost in 2008, 2012, 2016 until Samuel Abujinapo came into the picture and took the seat back for the New Patriotic Party in that 2020 elections. And you would see that the contest in the parliamentary result has also been of it's been not a swing constituency, but since from 1996 to 2008, you could describe it as a swing constituency. That since 2008, 12, 16, the NDC won three successive times in the constituency until Samuel Abujinapo emanated and won the 2020 seat for the New Patriotic Party. So, and you realize that the difference hasn't been that huge. It has always been a very slim margin unless you look at the 2008, 2012, and 2016 elections where there was a bit of a gap there. The remaining has been a very close contest. Even when Samuel Abujinapo won in that 2020 elections, he had 54% of the vote. And that was also a big win for the NPP, because even the time they won in that 2004 elections, it was by a very close win or margin for the NPP. And you will realize that the NPP have won 3 times in this constituency, as against the NDC's winning 5 times in the Damango constituency. We'll get to understand what is happening in the constituency. So let's quickly give you the percentage change in the result for both parties in terms of the NPP and the NDC. How has their result been evolving over the years? You'll realize that in 2004, the NPP increased their vote by 39.66%. They increased that 2000 elections vote by 39.66%. Then in 2000 and the same 2004, the NDC increased their 2000 votes by 52.39%. That is why, even with that, it was still not enough for the National Democratic Congress to win the 2004 elections, because in the parliamentary elections, the NPP won in that 2004 election. Now, in 2008, the NDC increased their votes by 6.59%, while the NPP increased theirs by some 18%. And you realize, whilst the NDC keeps decreasing and increasing, the NPP increases their vote margin, but it hasn't been substantive enough, especially in 2008, 2012, 16, to win them the seat in the Damango constituency until that 2020 elections. So this has been the trend in the parliamentary result, the percentage changes in the parliamentary result. Let's quickly look at the key contest, because one thing that you will notice in the Damango constituency in the terms of the key contest from 2012 all the way to the 2020 elections, there has been a consistent face for the National Democratic Congress. I'm talking about Adam Mutawakilu, the current candidate for the National Democratic Congress in the Damango constituency. He's been on the ticket for the party in 2012, 2016, 2020, and he's going again for his 4th contest. Whether we'll see. And in those four contests, he's won twice in the contest and lost once in 2020 to Samuel Abujinapo, would ask the question whether he would come back to get his third win in the 2024 elections. Now you realize that in 2012 he beat Albert Kasim Diwura of the NPP by some 2,477 votes. Look at the difference. Keep your eye on the difference there. 2,477 votes in that 2012 elections. Now let's quickly look at the 2016 elections. The same faces. You have Adam Mutawakilu of the NDC as against Albert Kasim Diwura of the NPP in that 2016 contest. Mutawakilu winning again for the National Democratic Congress, but then again, the difference was still within the 2,000 point mark or the 2,000 vote mark. He had 2,124 vote difference between him and the NPP Albert Kasim in that 2016 vote. Now let's look at 2020, when there was a new face for the NPP in the constituency. The first timer coming in, Samuel Abujinapo, coming in as his first time contesting for the New Patriotic Party in the constituency. He did a magic for the party, winning by some 2,701 vote difference between him and Muta Wakilu in the 2020 elections. You will realize that since 2012, the vote difference has always been within the 2,000s. The question is, can someone close down the gap, especially Muta Wakilu? He has to close down the gap and beat Samuel Abujinapo if he wants to win the elections. Or Samuel Abujinapo, based on his work in the past 4 years, as MP for the area, as minister, as deputy minister to minister, will he be able to retain the seat, increase his vote margin, or he will win with a slim vote margin? That is what we will try and understand, and we will try to understand that by joining or going live to the region, to the Savannah region, to the Damango constituency specifically, where our reporter is on the grounds, and he will give us a bit of an understanding of what is really happening in the Savannah region. And let's cross over to the Savannah region, to the Damango constituency, and we are joined by our reporter on the grounds. Mudasiru, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you, boss, and thank you for having me.
Right. Muda, I can't clearly hear you if you can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Now, try and tell us what is really happening in Damango, in the Damango constituency. I was there a few months ago when the elections were yet to start. The campaign were yet to start properly. When I was there, I saw the MP for the area, and he had already started his campaign, but we're yet to see Muta Wakilu go on aggressive campaigning. But we've gathered that things have changed. Both candidates are fiercely campaigning ahead of the December 7th elections. What is really the situation in Damango between Samuel Abujinapo and Adam Muta Wakilu?
So let me first of all say good evening to you and the management, and good evening to the people of Ghana. I think just as you were here a few months ago, things have changed. The NDC are coming back very strong. Adam Muta Wakilu, who lost the seat to a first-timer, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo. What is happening now is that there's a saying that he who fights and run away needs to fight another day. That is the message Adam Muta Wakilu has been giving to his people. Now he is saying to them that, well, when I was in the member of parliament for the area and John Dramani Mahama was the president of Ghana, everyone applauded me. But in 2016, when they voted for me and I got to parliament, my father, John Dramani Mahama, lost elections and I was an orphan. When I returned, my people, in fact, even though I gave them what I felt was necessary, but my people wanted more. So this time, everyone is advocating for my father, John Dramani Mahama, and I am confident that with John Dramani Mahama by my side, at least the 1990s, 1980s problem Damango constituents have been facing, and that has to do with potable drinking water, will be a thing of the past. So he has been clear. He has been telling the people, this is the message he has been telling them, to vote for him and to vote for John Dramani Mahama. If you also be, just as you may be aware, in 2020 he lost the elections, but the NDC won the presidential elections. John Dramani Mahama won massively because the people of the constituency, they saw a first-timer who was a deputy chief of staff. He came without any problem. He came and told them that he was a president darling boy, and in fact he was working in the front desk of the president. And so the people bought into his message, decided to give him the chance, the mandate, and voted for the presidential, that is the NDC. But signals we are taking is that a whole lot of them are asking him that, well, since your father was Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, somewhere 2019, you came and cut short that you will provide them with adequate potable water, tapping the water from the white voter to the Damango constituency. It is something they've not seen, and so they are asking for more. Well, lawyer Samuel Abdullahi Junapo at the other side is also telling the people, yes, 4 years is not enough. I am praying for you to add me another 4 years, and so that I'll be able to partner very well with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and make sure I solve almost all the challenges facing the constituents. In fact, just for some few days ago, lawyer Samuel Abdullahi Junapo of the NPP threw a challenge onto the National Democratic Congress. He said, well, the National Democratic Congress chairman himself, Asedun Ketia, was in the constituency to campaign with Honorable Adam Mutawakilu. That didn't go down well with Samuel Abdullahi Junapo, who said, well, it look as if the entire NDC fraternity have decided to come and support Galus against him, and that he is not even scared about them. If they want, they can go outside and bring everyone they think can help them win the seat back to Damango, and he will still be there. This message didn't go down well with the NDC. Look, I can confidently tell you that all the big gangs of the National Democratic Congress are in the Damango constituency just to help them rescue the seat or win the seat back from Samuel Abu Junapo. One of them is the former Minister for Agriculture, who happens to be once upon a time a Minister for the Northern Region, Honorable Limuna Mohammed Muniru. He is vigorously campaigning for the NDC and Honorable Adam Mutawakilu. And in 2020, just as you may be aware, there was a candidate who contested in the ticket of an independent Deputy Kidane. He's also joined Honorable Adam Mutawakilu Galus, and he's fighting vigorously just to make sure they win the seat back from Samuel Abu Junapo. And just yesterday, a team made up of N5, they are from the 5 northern regions, a former Bank of Ghana governor, Dr. Nashiru himself was here just to campaign for the Honorable Adam Mutawakilu and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a former Lands and Natural Resource Minister under the Mahama administration, who happens to be Honorable Inusa Fiseni, was also part of the delegation. And so that is how tough this place has been become. One thing I've also noticed is that unlike 2020, where we used to have the likes of Kojo Nkrumah, Mustafa Hamid, Osla Ewusu, and the big guns of the NPP trooping to the Damango constituency, it hasn't been so this particular year. In fact, it has been Abu Junapo and Abu Junapo alone. It was some few months ago that the president himself came here, and the presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, came here to support him. It has been him and him alone. But I can assure you that as I speak to you, the former Agri Minister, former Lands and Natural Resource Minister, the National Chairman of the NDC, all of them are campaigning vigorously for Adam Mutawakilu, and whose message has been simple and very clear. It is about water, water, and nothing apart from water.
Hello, Mudasiru.
Yes, my brother.
Right. I was trying to make connections with you, but it seems you were not hearing me very well. Now, you've mentioned that it has only been Samuel Abujinapo campaigning alone in the constituency. But the question really is, has his message sunk well with the constituents? You've been engaging some of the constituents. What have they really been telling you? Have his message sunk with them? Do they believe he has performed in the past 4 years, with the exception of the water situation that is still yet to be resolved in the constituency?
Well, some are buying into his message, others too are questioning him, others too are telling him that, well, this wasn't what you told us. You said you will come and provide us potable drinking water. As a regional capital like Damango, they deserve better. But one thing some of them are also adding up has to do with the promises or the policies of the National Democratic Congress, like the 24-hour economy, like digitalization of the NPP. So going into this election, let's not forget that Damango has become like a swing seat. Yeah. It is something any political party or any candidate cannot brag, because if you take a look at the peak sheet for the previous election, you realize that if anyone should win, they win with about a 2,000 margin. Yeah. That is from the one Adam Mutawakilu
we just did the analysis of the constituency, and as you rightly mentioned, it has always been with the 2,000, within the 2,000.
Yes. Yes. And the last election, John Zamani Mahama had about 17,000 plus. The people voted skirt and blouse. If those same people had voted for Adam Mutawakilu, I think Mutawakilu would have been retained. And so this time, the message of the NDC has been clear. Please, vote JM and vote his candidate. And as to whether the people will buy into that particular message, 7th December will be the best judge.
Now, let's look at Mutawakilu. He's a known face in the constituency. He's been on the ticket of the NDC since 2012. Now, winning in that 2012, winning in 2016, but only lost in the 2020 elections. Do people have confidence in him that when he gets retained or when he is voted back into the to lead the constituency, he will do a good job than what Samuel Abujinapo is doing?
Well, the people are still they trust him, just that they saw a first timer who they didn't they had hope in him since he was a darling boy of the president. They wanted to try a different meal to see the benefit of that particular meal. And some of them will tell you, look, we have confidence in this man. Anytime we see the president, we see. Anytime the president is traveling, even outside Ghana, we see Abujinapo with the president. And so we believe that what Abujinapo would have been telling the president wouldn't have failed him. For them to stay up to this time without adequate drinking water is a thing of a concern for the NPP and Honorable Samuel Abujinapo. Now, Adam Mutawakilu, honestly, if you come down to the Damango constituency, in fact, we have two ways of campaign. Lawyer Samuel Abujinapo and the NPP are financing and putting all the bills of their campaign. While Adam Mutawakilu, the people themselves are organizing the campaign, the rally, and now inviting him to those campaigns. So there are two ways. If you are giving resources to someone, a team, to organize a particular campaign or a rally, it's different. That one is coming from the candidate.
So you are saying, what you are saying is that the constituents in Damango, especially the voters or those supporting Mutawakilu, are organizing campaign activities with their own resources.
With their own resources.
All right.
There's a video I sent to you. If you look at that video, that's a particular electoral area alone. They organize it with the help of the market women in Damango In fact, they contributed about 20,000 and used that particular, that's market women of Damango.
Wow.
They contributed about 20,000 and gave that particular money to the executive of the National Democratic Congress in Atributo electoral area.
Okay.
And they organized that particular program.
Right, Mutawakilu, because of our time,
yes.
let's quickly look at one key concern ahead of the elections before we move away from Damango and go to look at the Daboya constituency. Now, the key concern has been that we saw at a point that the Yagbonura of the Gonja land, now. Mutawakilu,
I don't know if I can get back to you.
Mudasiru, please try and reposition yourself and we'll get back to you. Try as much as possible to reposition yourself and we'll get back to you. Mudasiru, that is our correspondent from the Savannah region, Mudasiru, giving us up-to-date report on what is really happening in the Damango constituency and how the campaign of the two key contenders in the elections is shaping up. What he's saying, it seems as though the NP for the area would have much work to do if he would have to retain the seat for the New Patriotic Party. You can't underestimate the effect of the NDC in the constituency, the prominence of the National Democratic Congress in the constituency. So if Samuel Abujinapo wants to retain this seat, he has to put in much more extra work in the constituency, and that's how Damango is shaping up. December 7th would be key for the constituency because, as I mentioned, the constituency is one of the three constituencies that the NPP currently hold. They hold the Damango constituency, the Daboya constituency, and they hold another constituency in the Savannah region. So these are the only three. Out of 7, they have 3. So if the party really wants to maintain the seat or really want to increase their numbers in the Savannah region, Damango is one of the that they will be looking to retain the seat. And we'll try to get back to Muntawakilu to finalize the situation in Damango. But let's move away from Damango to another constituency being held by the New Patriotic Party in the constituency. Let's move away from Damango to the Daboya Mankarigu constituency, and we will get to understand what is really happening in the Daboya constituency as well. So let's go for a very quick break. After this, we'll come back to continue with the analysis of the Daboya Mankarigu constituency and how it's likely to shape up ahead of the election. So let's go for a quick commercial. We'll be right back after this break.
Mid-year budget review with some key allocations.
We are currently here at Panishu.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m.
You are welcome back to the show with me, Samuel Nimabo. Now, let's move quickly to the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. Now, this constituency is located in the West Gonja district of the Savannah region. Now, it was formed in 2012 following the split of the Daboya Damango constituency into the Damango and the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. So, this constituency is a new one. It hasn't voted in. It hasn't had so many votes. It has only had 2 elections in the 2012, 2016, actually 3, and the 2020 election. So this will be the 4th parliamentary elections in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency, and we'll try to understand what is really shaping up in the constituency, because what we understand is that the NPP are going to face a very tough contest if they want to retain this seat, because like I mentioned, the NPP has a target of getting much more votes in these regions, in the Savannah region, Northeast, Northern region, the Upper East and the Upper West region. And they already have 3 seats in the Savannah region. So the party would be looking to even add more. But if there are threats to what they already hold, we need to look at those threats. And we understand that the Daboya Mankarigu constituency is one of those constituencies that is under a threat for the New Patriotic Party, and they have really some work to do in the constituency. So before we get to understand what will really happen in 2020, let's give you the analysis of the pattern of votes since 2012 in the constituency. Like I mentioned, it's just the constituency was created in 2012. So let's get into those analysis quickly, and let's look at the 2012 contest in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. You would see that in 2012, the constituency presented 2 key contenders, Shaibu Mahama of the NDC as against Tika Samuel Yeyu of the NPP. Now, these 2 candidates have contested each other for quite a while. In 2012, 2016, they contested, and then Shaibu Mahama of the NDC came victorious in those 2 contests. Then in 2016, Shaibu lost to a different candidate. Samuel Tika lost in the 2016 in the 2020 primaries for the New Patriotic Party. So he didn't get to contest in the 2020 elections. He lost in that primaries. So there was a new candidate for the NPP, the current incumbent NP. He beat Shaibu Mahama in that 2020 elections. But if you look at the vote difference in that 2012 contest, these 2, like I mentioned, they are the same candidate for the 2024 election. So the attention really will be on them. Shaibu Mohammed in 2012 defeated Tika Samuel of the NPP by some 1,603 votes in that 2012 election, where Shaibu had 9,208 votes against Tika Samuel who had 8,589 votes in that 2012 elections. Quickly, keep your margin, your eyes on the margin, the difference, 1,603 votes. Let's look at what happened in 2016 for the 2 contenders again. The 2 contenders. 2016, it was the same faces. The NPP had Shaibu Mahama contested against Tika Samuel in that 2016 elections. Shaibu Mohammed came victorious in the 2020 ballot for the for the National Democratic Congress in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. And in 2016, he won, contested on the seat again as incumbent NP for the area, lost to the NPP in the 2020 election. So as you can see there, the difference in 2016 came down because Samuel Tika put in much more work. He was able to bring down the difference from a little over 1,000. He now brought it down to 619 votes, but still couldn't get much more votes to win the election. So Shaibu Mohammed won the 2016 elections again for the National Democratic Congress in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. Let's look at 2020. What happened in the 2020 elections? Because these 2, the 2020 saw a new candidate for the NPP. It saw Mahama Asay Seni of the NPP winning very hugely in that 2016 elections. He had 59.61% of the vote with a vote margin of 4,640. That was the biggest margin anyone has won in the constituency, in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. Now, fast forward 2024, Mahama Saini of the NPP is no more on the ticket because he lost in the parliamentary primaries in the constituency just a year ago. In that just this year, he lost in the primaries for the New Patriotic Party. So Tika Mohammed is back on the ballot paper for the NPP in the constituency for the 3rd time. Will he be able to do the magic, win the elections for himself and the New Patriotic Party? It's a question we want to answer, because Shaibu Mohammed is coming in very vigorously. He's campaigning very vigorously in the constituency, and he's doing much more to snatch the seat away from the the New Patriotic Party. But with the NPP's target of getting majority seats in the Savannah region, we'll look at whether that can really suffice for them, especially in this constituency as well. And our correspondent in the Savannah region is back on the line, and we want to have a conversation with him to really understand what is also happening in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency. We are joined by Mudasiru. Once again, Mudasiru, you're welcome back to the show. Hello, Mudasiru. Hello, Mudasiru. Right, we've lost Mudasiru. We'll try and connect back to Mudasiru as we get to understand what is really happening in the Daboya Mankarigu constituency and the Savannah region as a whole as we head into the election. Just 4 days to the election. Now, statistically, the Daboya Mankarigu constituency is made up of some 43,000 populace as per the 2021 Ghana Statistical Survey, Ghana Statistical Service population census. The constituency is made up of 143,000 people. So it is not a hugely populated constituency, and it faces a lot of other challenges. Infrastructure issues are key in the constituency. Roads development is also another thing. Now, the Army Special Operation Training School is also located in the Daboya constituency. Now, concerns revolve around among residents. They have raised concern over insufficient basic amenities if you go to these areas, and especially in the northern areas. Boreholes are some of the key concerns that people need. Safe and portable drinking water, as Mudasiru mentioned. Damango, the regional capital, is even battling with good water and portable water in the constituency. Mudasiru is back on the line. Hello, Mudasiru. Yeah, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, my brother, and I'm grateful to be back again.
Right. Now, Mudasiru, before we get to the Daboya constituency, I wanted our viewers to understand the Damango constituency very well. Now, there was an issue some few weeks ago where the Yagbonwura placed an embargo on Samuel Abu-Janapo. We heard he barred him from coming to campaign in the constituency over concerns that he has disrespected the Yagbonwura and the Gonja kingdom. How far with that issue, and is it likely to play against the incumbent MP in this year's election?
I think, like you rightly stated, it was a serious issue. That is a fact. The Yagbonwura had issues with him. The Yagbonwura mentioned so many things that didn't go down well with him. One of them has to be when he called on him, when his people got arrested, lawyer didn't even call him back. Another one too has to be there were instances that the current MP made utterances against him, and the whole issue came up, and that necessitated the ban. But what I can say is that the day the king was giving him the ban, I was present there, and the king mentioned that that is his grandson, and he thinks that whenever he goes, he's welcoming him back. And I can confirm to you, immediately after the ban, a high powerful delegation from Accra came to them and go, led by the defense minister, Dominic Nitiwu. In fact, they took a flight, came to them to see the king. Part of the delegation was the interior minister, the minister, and other cabinet ministers. And when they came, the king told them that, well, it's good you came, but I want the position to speak to anyone. That the king wanted to travel to Nigeria Kingdom to see the king and overlord of the traditional area. So the king told them, yes, please.
Please try and position yourself well. We are getting some hitches in your network there.
I think we have network challenge here. I'm not in Damawa at the moment. That's why.
All right, so we understand. Just continue, but try and be very clear for us. Continue for us.
Is it better now?
Yes, I think it's okay now.
Okay. So the member then later came to Damango and met with the king. The king said, well, I have conditions. If the person who has come to ask for forgiveness and to plead on his behalf, he has shown remorse, then these are my conditions. If he is ready to comply with those conditions, then I will accept him and I will take up the embargo.
So the issue, has it been resolved? Has the what's the name? Has Samuel Abujinapo met the conditions of the king, the Yagbangura?
I will say no. One of the conditions has to be there's a Damangora who lawyer Samuel Abujinapo has never recognized. He has never visited him. He has never acknowledged him, and it was part of the king's decision that he has to meet those conditions before he fully accept him by. And as I speak to you today, you can find out from anyone in Damango, lawyer Samuel Abujinapo has not paid a single homage to the Damango Borasa defense.
So the issue is still unresolved. But is that likely, just in a few seconds, is that likely to affect his chances?
Yes, I have seen people who campaigned and supported the entity in 2020 coming out campaigning against lawyer Abujinapo. And one of them has to be their greatest financier. He has given the party, assisted the party since 2000 election. And today, that particular financier is campaigning seriously for Adam Mutawakilu and John Dramani Mahama.
Right. So what it is saying is that it doesn't look good for Samuel Abujinapo. All right. Now, let's move away to another constituency where keen eyes will be on it very keenly. The Daboya Mankarigu constituency. Tell us, what is the situation? Will we see that Shaibu Mahama of the NDC coming to snatch the seat one time again?
That is very possible. It is very, very possible. It is an interesting constituency, and what the people are saying is that the candidate of the New Patriotic Party, he was once upon a time the deputy regional minister for Savannah region, and they are asking so many things of him. They said when he was made the deputy minister for Savannah region, in fact, he visited them only twice. And so, if you had wanted to leave them, they believe that he would have done better. They are also saying that they haven't seen any improvement when they gave the mandate to the New Patriotic Party. The incumbent member of parliament for the Daboya Mankarugu, Honorable Mama Ase finished, and don't forget, he was the deputy road minister in Ghana. Yeah. And if you visit Daboya, they haven't witnessed a single total asphalted in the Daboya constituency. It's very dirty. The road is very bad. In fact, the township of Daboya and Mankarugu are looking very bad. Some few months ago, it took the intervention of the former president, John Dramani Mahama, and the candidate of the NDC, lawyer Shaibu Mahama, to rehabilitate their roads. And so I think it is looking good for the NDC because lawyer Shaibu Mahama is saying that with his father, with their mentor, John Dramani Mahama winning, and himself going back to parliament, it is something that is going to work very well for the people.
Let's look at
another thing.
Mudasiru.
Yes, another key point I have to note
You quickly do that for us.
Immediately, Obe lost the election. He had an appointment to work in the Parliament of Ghana. And so the people are saying that, well, we didn't vote for him, but Albert Humanity for Bagway saw something important in him. And by virtue of that, he is part of the parliamentary legal team, and he's serving Ghana. So if we should still vote for, we voted against him, and Parliament rewarded him by giving him an appointment, then they just have to vote for him, and he will become the member of Parliament.
Let's quickly, because of our time, let's quickly look at the NPP candidate. He's run for 2 times in the constituency, as you rightly mentioned. Tika Samuel. Does he have the support of the incumbent MP who he defeated in the primaries?
Well, that's for the gallery. I'll say yes. But deep down, there are heavy clash. Deep down, there are heavy clash within the New Patriotic Party. Because I said, Sini felt that he has done well for the party, and he needed them to also rally behind him. But it is something that didn't go down well with him. So if you see them together, it's just for the gallery.
Right. Thank you very much, Mudasiu, for that report and the analysis of the Daboya and the Daboya Mankagu's constituency and the Damango constituency. Because of our time, we have to call it a day here on Constituency in Focus. As you've rightly saying, we've gone to the Savannah region trying to get to understand what